So that is a full E85 cold start on a V10 BMW. And here it's a little bit lumpier than on pump gas, but so far I absolutely love the full E85. Today I'm hopefully going to be tackling the last project of the long list of stuff this car needed when I bought it, and that is the brakes. Ever since I got it, the brakes were really spongy. It had a new master cylinder the week before I bought it, and the brakes weren't bled right. So I was hoping I'd be able to come home, throw my software on it, bleed the brakes, and everything would be good. But that ended up not being the case. Still had spongy brakes. Actually, if you watch one of the first videos on the BMW, that's actually what I was doing. I was bleeding the brakes. So I bled them about 5 or 6 times, and they've just continuously gotten worse. And the last time I actually finally ended up with an ABS light. Pretty much all my brake related lights are now on. So I'm going to be doing the ABS and DSC module today, the whole assembly. I picked up a used one to try, and if that all works, we'll be finally ready to do some fun driving with the M5. So stay tuned for this. Hopefully it'll be some good information for you guys that are experiencing soft brakes. So let's get started. Okay, so here's the dash lights I currently got going. See, I've got the brake light, the ABS light, the traction control light, and the service engine soon. And then over here, I've got the brake malfunction light. I think I also got a low fluid level, which I'm not sure why that is on. Fluid level should be perfect, but we will be double checking that today again, since we're going to be having to add some. So pretty much every brake related light is on. Before the last time I bled them, I did not have any brake lights on at all. Really no codes unless I went in and scanned. I think I had possibly a pressure code or something like that. So this has made me pretty sure it must be the either the ABS module or the pump. I'm not sure. I'm going to do the whole unit once and done and hopefully take care of it. So really excited. This is hopefully the last thing on the list of getting this thing completely back the way it's supposed to be from the factory. Actually a little bit better since we got a little extra power. Then we'll be on to making some fun videos, possibly some racing. Hoping to try out the handling this weekend. Kind of give you and possibly take you along for that. Kind of show you what this thing is like when it's completely unleashed. So let's get to work, see what we can get done today. The inner fender liner removed here, and here we can see the ABS module in the back there and the DSC pump right there. Now incredibly, they make this very easy to get to compared to a lot of cars, so I'm hoping that's the culprit right there. So right here I got my new unit, or new used unit. Ended up getting this one for about a quarter of new price, so I figured it would be worth a try. Since it's not necessarily a common issue with these, so we're gonna go ahead and swap it out and see how it goes. So pretty much all you do to get the inner fender liner out is remove a bunch of 8mm screws all around the inside. Fairly straightforward to see, kind of around the whole border of the liner. And then there's 3 plastic like push lock connectors right on the fender here, which I'll have to get new ones out. I just have to break the head off to get those off. So hopefully I can set you guys up here where you can see what we got going as we disconnect and reinstall this. I'm just going to go ahead and match up the part numbers and make sure everything's going to work, and then we'll get on it. Alright, so first off on the removal, we're going to be unplugging it here. Plug it back in here so you can see. So you got this one sliding plug here, pull straight up, and it automatically releases and also pushes the plug out, just like that. So go ahead and zip tie this up out of the way. All right, so now we got the, gonna go and disconnect. Actually, I'm gonna disconnect or loosen the connecting bolts there. Looks like a 10 millimeter. Let's see if I can get back in here. Yep, so got three mounting bolts. So it looks like these are an 11 millimeter. Now one thing you want to be sure when you're working with brake fluid is that you don't get any of it on your any painted surface. The brake fluid will eat your paint right off. Alright, so I got all the brake lines loosened up. Just gotta take this last bolt out. And the old unit should come right out. And out it comes. Okay, so here we got the new unit. Got all the brake lines started, that way I know they're all threaded in correctly. Now I gotta get, okay, so if I can get in here and get this one started. So now just to reassemble everything, we're just gonna tighten all the brake lines down. We're gonna have to refill it with brake fluid and go through the whole bleeding process and possibly also recoat it. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do the coating. I haven't set up my coater on my laptop. So I'm going to have to do some experimenting with that as far as what I'm going to need to do to get the coating done. For now, we'll get the unit in, get it bled, see if our brakes are solid, and then we'll deal with our coating and lights that we might still have. Just going to hand tighten them as much as possible, makes it a lot easier than trying to use a wrench. Now you gotta watch these. This is an aluminum block here, so you don't want to over tighten them. I'm sure there is a torque spec, but if you go just nice and snug, you can kind of feel when it's nice and snug, and that's where you want to stop. If you over torque them, you will end up stripping out this aluminum pump block here. All right. I'm gonna wipe brake fluid off of here, dry everything up, and then plug it back in, and we'll be ready to put some fluid in and start bleeding the brakes. Get our fingers crossed that this will take care of our issue and we'll finally have properly working brakes. Alright. Again, just reversive ends of the removal. Get it started. As you push the lock down, it pulls it in, and you'll kind of feel it pop in. And just like that, we got it all back together. Okay, so getting down to your brake reservoir is fairly easy. There's little locks set aside, and then we got a couple more right there. Give them a quarter half turn, along with pulling up the weather seal there, and there's one more down there. After you've got them loose, you can just kind of lift it up and scoot it aside, and then there we see your brake reservoir. Now one thing I always like doing when I'm working with the brakes is putting a rag in here. That way I don't get any brake fluid spilled anywhere on your paint. because you do not want that eating into your paint. So I'm going to go ahead and fill the reservoir up, let it sit over lunch. It might naturally get rid of some of the air, and then we'll come back and do the official bleeding. Alright, so it's the next morning here, and a little cooler, so I'm going to show you how to go about bleeding your brakes. I'm going to be using INPA for that. So what you want to do here is open it up. You'll see here it's showing that we have the batteries on, but the ignition's off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch the ignition on. Make sure your blower and everything is off, and interior lights off, just to reduce the drain on the battery. So now we can see your ignition's off or on. Everything's ready to go here. I'm going to come over here, and in this case, since I have an E60 M5, I'm going to go down here and hit E60. You can either do it by clicking on the emblem there, or you can hit F4. Then I'm going to come up here to chassis and dynamic stability control for E60 M5. Now this step is pretty much the same, you know, whether you have an E90, see all your E46, your whole list here, but I'm going to go with the E60. Gives you a couple little warnings here. You just okay each one, and then we're going to come over and hit F6 or activate. And for now, since I have my front left wheel off, I'm just going to show you that since it's easy to do. You're going to want to hit Shift plus F6 to bleed the front left. And then it tells you to open the front left bleed screw. So we're going to go out there and do that right now. Get out of the car here. Okay, so I still got my fender liner off. There's bleeder screws there in the back. I'm going to pop the little rubber cover off. Put my 11mm wrench on there, and then I got these little Motive brake bottles. I'm going to put the hose on there. Slide the hose onto the nipple. Oh man. Set my can up there and open the bleed screw. Alright, so there I got it open. Got everything set up there, got my bottle there on the ground, so we're going to go back in and activate it. Okay, so I got the bleed screw open, we're going to hit OK. Then it's going to direct us through everything. You can hear the pump running. Alright, so there we're done. It's going to tell us to go close the screws. I'm going to go out and do that. See here, there's the fluid that it and then we can go ahead and pour hose off. That on there to keep the dirt and things out of it. Remember to put your little rubber cap back on to keep dirt from getting into the nipple there. And that concludes the brake bleeding. Now to do it right, the standard procedure would be to start on the front right, and I think it goes to the rear right, rear left, and then the front left. I might have the rears mixed up, but that's kind of works you around the car. I just did this one here to show you since I have the wheel off and it was very easy to do. So now we can go inside again and just simply hit OK, and it goes back. So yeah, actually here you can see the order. If you just replaced a bunch of stuff, you do the DSC pre-bleeding, which is simply pumping the pedal that gets majority of the air out, and then you start with the front right, rear left, and rear and front left. So hopefully that's helpful to you guys. I'm really sorry this video is going to be kind of all over the place. So again, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe and stay tuned for some more videos.